And it's toppled over. Well, that's just great. Well, since I'd rather not spend the rest of my days lying uncomfortably on my side, I'd better check to see what it's like out there. Benson, give me a quick rundown of the atmosphere outside the escape pod, please.
Commander, I have analyzed the atmosphere outside the escape pod, and according to these readings, the atmosphere is comprised of 77% nitrogen, 16% carbon dioxide, 4.5% oxygen, 1.5% methane, and 1% trace gases, including hydrogen sulfide.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. So I would be correct in assuming that the atmosphere outside is not breathable then?
That would be correct, Commander. The atmosphere is too thin, the oxygen levels are too low, and the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is too high for human physiology. I therefore recommend that you do not remove your spacesuit and rely instead on your suit's built-in oxygen supply.
Really, Ben? You think? Hell, I thought I would just open my visor and take a deep breath of this wonderful atmosphere.
Caution, Commander. I would strongly advise against taking the course of action, as opening your visor would result in suffocation and eventual death.
Yeah, I know, I was just being sarcastic, but I guess that was lost on you, wasn't it? Anyway, let's get out of this thing and see what's out there. Well, the good news is there doesn't appear to be any significant external damage to this escape pod, but it does feel weird being back on solid ground again. Whoa, would you look at that? 2 moons. Toto, I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. In fact, I haven't got the faintest idea where the hell we are. Benson, check all your available records. I need you to identify which planet this is that we've crashed on.
Negative, Commander. This planet does not conform to any in my current database, nor were there any planets scanned in the Alpha Centauri A star system that match this one. Furthermore, the star that this world is orbiting is significantly smaller and cooler than Alpha Centauri A, which suggests that we are now in a different star system.
Ah, crap. That's what I was afraid you were going to say. Is there any way we can find out which star system this actually is, or at least give us a rough idea?
Affirmative. I would need to conduct an extensive scan of the stars in the sky above us in order to obtain more detailed information on our exact location within our galaxy.
Well, that's a start, I suppose, but right now we need to focus on something far more urgent, and that is our own survival. I'm going to try and make my way towards some higher ground to see if I can find anything. In the meantime, Benson, could you run a quick check to see if you can pick up any signals from any of the beacons or antennas aboard the Prestinium? If it went down somewhere nearby, maybe we could use those to home in on it.
Negative, Commander. I am not receiving any signals from any of the Prestinium's beacons or antennas. It is highly likely that the entire ship broke up on Reentry.
That is a possibility, but if the atmosphere is relatively thin, then maybe enough of the Prestinium survived Reentry that we can salvage what's left and make some kind of temporary base out of it. I know it's a bit of a long shot, but we need more components. If the escape pod is the only thing we have available to us, then I'm afraid I can't see us lasting any longer than 2, maybe 3 days at the very most. I have to admit though, after being in space for so long, this world does look kind of beautiful, even if it is a little strange. Well, that sounded ominous. I don't know whether that was a naturally occurring noise, or if there's something else on this world with us. I better keep my weapon ready and my eyes peeled, just in case. There's a lot of snow around here, but there's also a surprisingly large amount of vegetation, including trees and plants. Ben, out of curiosity, what is the outside temperature?
The outside temperature is approximately minus 36.4 degrees Celsius, which is still well within the tolerance levels of your spacesuit.
It is indeed, which means all my suit has to do is expend energy to keep me warm. And also, because it's only minus 36 degrees out here, the snow I'm seeing is very likely to be liquid water, which means that we potentially could have an abundant source of ice. Oh, that was strange. For a brief second I thought I saw some movement over there by those trees. Guess it was nothing. Then again, there is a lot of vegetation on this world, so it's not outside the realm of possibility that there are small animals here too. I just hope they're herbivores. Oh, I'm not used to all this running around. The last time I was at a gym, it was back when we were still on Earth. Which means I've not been to the gym in over 45 years. I wonder if my membership's lapsed. Hey, wonderful. More trees, snow and rolling hills as far as the eye can see. There's a lot of red and white on this planet. Oh, maybe I should name this world Santa Claus World. Since I'm like the first person to discover it, but I don't think it would... Oh, hang on a second. Is that what I think it is? Yep, that very much looks like it's part of the Prestinium that's crashed over there. And it's not too far away either. Right, let's go and have a quick look to see if we can salvage anything from it. And this is weird. I can't get over the feeling that I'm being watched or something. It's probably just all in my mind though. That's what happens when you've been in space for so long where there's no sound or anything around you. It does kind of make you a little bit edgy when you get back onto a planet's surface again. Well, that's just great. I've got to go uphill again. I'm pretty sure the shipwreck was closer than this. Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure those noises aren't naturally occurring. What's your analysis, Ben? Are those sounds mechanical in origin?
Unknown, Commander. I have insufficient data to reach a satisfactory conclusion, but there's only a 14.3% chance that those last sounds were caused by natural phenomena.
Which most likely means they weren't. Thanks, Ben. Well, here's the external hydrogen tank. I'm lucky it survived the crash. Let's check it out to see what we've got. Incredible. It's completely intact and it has almost all of its hydrogen left inside. This could certainly be useful to us later on. Now let's see what the rest of the wreck looks like.
Warning. Warning, Commander Robertson. I am detecting increased levels of radiation as we approach the Prestinium's crash site. There is a high possibility that the reactor may have been damaged during the crash and its radioactive material may have escaped and could pose a significant hazard.
Copy that, Benson. Thanks for letting me know. I'll activate my suit's Geiger counter, and if the radiation levels do get too high, I'll just back away again very carefully. What I'll do now is I'll add a waypoint for this wreck's location. That way when I have to go back to the escape pod, it'll be easier to find it again. Right, I'll just call it Wreck of the Prestinium. And for the description, it'll just be what's left of my old ship. Which pretty much sums it up, I think. I'm really surprised so much of the ship survived re-entry and the crash. The bridge is gone and it looks like a lot of the aft section has been destroyed as well, but the midsection is still here, which means that hopefully the cargo container will be as well. What I'll do is I'll make my way to the back of the ship and see if I can climb on board and gain access to the rest of it. More strange noises. This planet is just downright creepy. The radiation levels are slightly higher over here, but not dangerously so. Yeah, check that out. You're right, Ben, the reactor has been damaged.
Acknowledged. The outer shielding appears to be compromised, and the reactor's thermal signature is dangerously high. It is extremely likely that the reactor may go critical within the next 3 to 8 hours. I therefore recommend that you expedite your salvage operation.
That's a solid copy, Ben. I'll try to be as quick as I can.
Danger. Danger, Commander Robertson. Dangerously high levels of radiation have been detected. I strongly advise you leave the area as soon as possible.
I hear you, Ben. My Geiger counter was already going nuts. I just needed to collect that extra hydrogen tank and see if there's anything else I could use. I'm making my way back now. Trust me, the last thing I want is to have come all this way just to die from acute radiation poisoning. Well, it looks like getting on board the wreck from the back is not an option. I guess I'll have to use some form of scaffolding and get up the front instead. But, in the meantime, I need to replenish my energy and oxygen supplies, which means I need to head back to the escape pod. I'll come back to the wreck later on once I'm ready. Well, it's not exactly the most safest thing I've built, but it should give me access to the lower levels of the wreck. And best of all, it saves me using my jetpack and wasting precious hydrogen. At least the refinery looks intact. Time to check out that cargo container. Excellent! All these components have survived.
Danger. Danger, Commander Robertson.
I hear you, Ben. Dangerous levels of radiation, turning green, glowing in the dark, etc. Don't worry, I'm heading out as we speak. I'll make any future visits to that cargo container as brief as possible to try and limit my exposure.
That would be a wise course of action, Commander. Be advised, exposure to radiation will not result in you turning green or glowing in the dark, as those are merely common misconceptions created by popular culture.
Well, thanks for taking everything I say so literally, Ben. Anyway, it's about time we made a start on building ourselves a temporary base out here. The sun's beginning to go down, so I need to work fast. I don't know what this world is going to be like after nightfall. It would be just my luck if during the night some sort of strange nocturnal predators came out that prey on other living beings, kind of like in that movie with that bald guy whose name I can't quite recall. I'll need some more components to finish this reactor. The fuel I can get from the escape pod. There should be about 8 units left. I'm not sure how long that'll last once I have machines running, but it's better than nothing. I keep hearing those noises, but I still have no idea what's causing them. Anyway, I need to focus. Okay, that's enough components for the moment. What I do need, however, is some ice for the oxygen generator, and I have a feeling I know where I saw some earlier. I could dig some up from the snow, but why waste energy when I can just pick up some that's already lying around? I'll just have to be quick, because this area is still being bombarded with radiation from the reactor.
Inventory full.
This place looks even more eerie during the night. I have to admit, when this expedition began, I had absolutely no idea it was eventually going to lead to me being stranded on another world, with no support, or units under my command. Well, except for Benson, but he's an AI, he doesn't count. I suppose I could always try to create some combat drones later on, but I need to establish a base of operations first before I do that. Ben mentioned there was some kind of seismic activity going on, so I've made sure I've built my base above the ground and with metal supports, just to be on the safe side. At least this way, if there's any earthquakes or severe tremors, it shouldn't come crashing down around me. Well, in theory. There we go. Now I've got a plentiful supply of both oxygen and hydrogen. And with the reactor up and running, I've also got power as well, which means I don't have to keep running back to the escape pod all the time. The only thing is, it's getting dark now, so I'll need to add a couple of lights outside. That shouldn't be too difficult though. I think that'll do for the moment. I'm not sure how dark it gets on this world, but at least with those two lights there, it means I can find the entrance even if it's pitch black. What I will need to do, however, is add a chair or a flight seat. That way I can recharge my energy. I'll probably place it here, facing the entrance. There we go. Hey, you get a really good view of those two moons during the night here. It is interesting how they're different colours though. Sadly, as much as I'd love to stand here admiring the stars, I'd better get this base finished as quickly as I can. Which means making a start and getting some walls up, and a refinery. Oh, this is interesting. Some sort of luminous spores appear to be coming off the ground every time I walk on it. Maybe the ground is covered with some type of fungus. But since I'm not a botanist, I can't really say for sure. Well, at least I feel a little more secure now. With all the machines being idle, the power drain is minimal right now. And with 8 kilograms of uranium fuel left, we should be okay for the moment. I need to get some more metal plates to finish those walls. I don't want to use this assembler because that will just drain too much power unnecessarily. I'll get more from the cargo container on board the wreck. I'll just have to be careful not to spend too long there because of all the radiation. What the hell was that? It sounded like it came from those trees over there.
Warning, Commander. I too detected a large animal by those trees, 50 meters, to your current 12 o'clock. Unfortunately, it seems to have disappeared, and I am no longer able to track it.
Copy that, Ben. It looks like we're not alone out here. I don't know what it was, but I'm hoping it was just some sort of wild animal that was curious and watching us from a distance, but I'm not too sure. I'm changing our build priorities, Ben. I'm going to start with some defences first before I finish anything else in that base.
By your command.
You know, I was only joking about those nocturnal predators earlier. I hope I haven't tempted fate. Okay, I'll quickly grab some metal plates, interior plates, and some construction components. That should do me to begin with. The problem is, because this world is so completely alien to me, I've got absolutely no idea what to expect. If whatever's out there does prove to be hostile, at least if I have some basic defences put up, it'll be a lot less likely to catch me off guard. Okay, those components should be enough. Now let's get these turrets finished. That'll do. There's no living creature I've seen yet that's immune to bullets, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to at least defend my base and me when I'm near it. I'm also hoping at some point we also get to the bottom of whatever the hell's causing all those weird noises. Anyway, I need to get back to completing this base and getting us some more power. Right, that's the outside of the base pretty much complete. All I need to do now is get some more components to complete those solar panels, so once the sun comes up we should hopefully have an additional source of power. Perfect.
Caution, Commander. I am picking up increased thermal readings from the rack of the Prestonine.
Copy, Ben. Does that mean— oh shit!
Danger. Danger, Commander Robertson. The reactor on board the Prestonine has just gone critical. The explosion we witnessed will contaminate this area with radioactive fallout. For your own safety, I highly recommend that you seek shelter immediately.
Ah, damn it to hell. Copy that, Ben. I'm heading in right now. Well, shit. I guess things have just gotten a little more interesting for us now.